6:48, your top stories this Friday in your Smart Start. The latest updates on 2 people arrested this week for a kidnapping in Henrietta. Deputies have released video showing what happened Wednesday morning at the Microtel Inn and Suites, and a warning this footage is difficult to see. The sheriff's office reports the victim, a woman, was trafficked for sex, and this video shows her trying to escape around 6 a.m. again Wednesday. The 2 suspects, Shantiana Sims and Cordell Brooks, were caught later that afternoon, charged with kidnapping and assault. Deputies tell us the victim is in the hospital getting the help she needs. A 21-year-old man is in the hospital as well after getting shot multiple times on Scioto Street here in Rochester. This was last night just after 8. The man is expected to live. No arrests have been made. A new public survey on attitude towards the Police Accountability Board in Rochester paints a negative picture for the PAB. More than 600 took part in this non-scientific poll, and more than 80% say they feel the PAB is not effective. But there's more to this, and some are saying it might not be fully reflective on how everyone feels.
Remember that this is a survey that's not a random sample or scientific, right? They favored the older crowd, right? So this was not necessarily younger folks.
We don't have the need or desire or should be trying to justify our existence to anybody. The people voted for this.
The head of City Council, Miguel Melendez, who you heard from first, adds hopefully the study can lead to positive changes. Since voters approved the PAB in 2019, it has been plagued with controversy. The board has faced lawsuits, sexual harassment claims, internal disputes, and action by City Council to cut funding from the PAB. Starting today, officially, Rochester Regional Health employees will no longer be required to be vaccinated against COVID. We're hearing from officials with the hospital group as it navigates these new guidelines. They say the original decision for the vaccine mandate was, quote, not necessarily an opinion or a choice from Rochester Regional Health. Instead, they say they were following state regulations. Throughout the pandemic, the hospital system lost hundreds of employees in critical positions, and officials are explaining how they plan to bring former employees back.
One is that we'll be reaching out to those that were impacted over the coming weeks to welcome and re-engage with them. They will be able to look for open opportunities across our organization and go through a typical selection process. Keep in mind, we will make it abbreviated and we'll be working with them to find the right fit.
For those like Go in positions requiring added training, RRH will work with those people, we're told, to make sure they have everything they need in a timely manner. Also want to note, along this topic, we're hearing from URMC. It too is no longer enforcing the COVID vaccine for employees. As it says, it will follow the State Department new guidelines from the Department of Health. A huge win for local veterans. Monroe County officials announced the Veteran Service Agency has obtained $9 million in retroactive disability payments for them. These veterans initially had claims denied by the VA, but the VSA went to court fighting their cases and won. A few years ago, the VSA brought in around $4.3 million for veterans. That's an increase of 110%. The company that owned the Titan sub has officially suspended operations. OceanGate says all exploration and commercial business is on hold following the implosion of the sub that was going down to the wreckage of the Titanic. All 5 on board were killed when this happened, including the CEO of the company. The U.S. Coast Guard is still investigating the tragedy there in the Atlantic. Sunrise traffic at 6:52. We've had that one accident keeping an eye on the west side at the intersection of Lexington and Mount Reed. The expressways looking good, throughway as well. Closest exits for us between there, Henrietta and Victor, all good to go. We'll check your morning drive again at 7:25. A new addition unveiled at the Genesee Riverway Trail in Rochester, created by a local artist. It is called Salt of the Earth, Light of the World. It depicts President Abraham Lincoln and Frederick Douglass meeting in Washington August 19, 1864. Historically, of course, Lincoln and Douglass are credited with leading the charge against slavery. City officials say there's a lot we can learn from the collaboration between these 2 leaders.
Both men believed in the greatness of this country and that we needed to meet its potential. Both men ended their lives with respect for each other and called each other friend. A man born into slavery and a man born free, knowing each other as equals. And that is future manifested.
The artist Olivia Kim specializes in statues like this one. You can actually find many of her Frederick Douglass statues around the city currently, including at the Douglass Family Farm. This morning, the Rochester Red Wings will continue their annual Intentional Walk fundraiser. The community is stepping up in a big way to chip in. That includes one of our own, sports reporter Carl Jones. How about that? Running on the treadmill in the heat. Shirt says fight, long sleeves. Yesterday, all guests wishing to take part like Carl can run or walk in 10-minute shifts. Wing staff and fans are doing this to raise money and awareness for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Rochester and Geneva and the local chapter of Big Brothers Big Sisters. The intentional walk will reach the finish line Sunday. They're going for 500 miles at least. Wow. If you want to help, you can learn more in this article at rochesterfirst.com. Love that. And they're doing this for several hours every morning. Oof. And you see there the thermometer here in outfield at the ballpark.
Brutal.
Man, yeah.
It was a hot one yesterday, and much easier to get that running today.
Yes, and this weekend for that as well, because you mentioned it, we had 2 days of that heat, 90 or above, and we're done with it.
Gone. Yeah, really nice to see that. So still dealing with the humidity this morning, and in fact, we have a couple of sprinkles out there I want to mention. You see that south of Buffalo, Erie County. I think that just scrapes by us by about 9:30 to 10, and then we're in the clear. Numbers are climbing only into the upper 70s and low 80s for today. Nice overnight lows in the 60s and 50s, and then as we get into the weekend, both Saturday and Sunday look mostly dry. Saturday nearly all dry. And then Sunday, just a couple of passing showers. But you can see here, no 90s, Brennan, as we get into the middle of the month. So one 90-degree day so far we've had. And it was late to come, happened yesterday, and now it's gone just like that.
I wonder if people, you know, they're done with it, say that was enough for this summer. How lucky we've been compared to everywhere else. Yeah. We're back in half an hour with the updates during CBS Mornings. Enjoy your weekend, everybody.
News 8 wherever you are, on rochesterfirst.com, Facebook, Twitter, and on our app for news and weather.